ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening. Well, it's not evening yet, but something like that. Welcome to Perspectives in Focus. I am James Hicks from Hicks New Media and Infotainment News, and today I am joined by the one and the only Mr. Butch McCrackin. Butch, how you living today, sir?
Hey James Hicks, how you doing? Doing well on this end.
Man, it's
Believe
hectic
it or
on my
not,
end.
man, oh man, I'm excited to be here. A chance to hang out and talk with you, you know, and get an idea of what's going on out there in California, especially given the crazy winter we're dealing with on this side.
Bruh, and well, so we'll get into all that, yeah, because you're in Texas and you've had a little bit of weather to deal with, so we'll definitely get into that. But first and foremost, brother, I want to say thank you for taking some time to sit and talk to me. As you know, perspectives and focus is really about getting down to the kind of the meat of who the person is that I'm talking to, and so we can talk about business. We can talk about what we do for a day job. We can talk about all that stuff. But I really want to spend the day talking about who is Butch McCracken. So that being said, brother, give me the elevator pitch for folks who may not know who is Butch.
Oh my goodness, the
I put you on the
elevator
spot
pitch is
already, didn't I?
the elevator pitch is all good. It's all good. Hey, the fun part is being a husband, a father, a kind of a servant leader guy. Loving technology, everything that you can plug in. I think I've either looked at or own. I'm an app magnet lover, but what drives me like crazy is the photography. Every time I see a picture, I'm inspired. Every time I take a picture, I wonder how I can make it better. And every picture I took, I want to take it over again. That's the thing that drives me. So technology, has been something that has driven me all my life, and working with Dell has given me just an enormous access to some great leaders and great thought leaders across the board. But
Yeah.
the photography is what benefits.
That's where the passion is, right? That's the
Oh, yeah,
so we both spent time at Hewlett Packard, so we know
yeah,
the term work life balance.
yeah.
And right. See, I'm flashing back now, right? You
Oh,
probably
you
haven't
are,
heard
you
that.
are.
You haven't heard that in
Yeah,
a while, have you?
man. Yes, absolutely. Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
My
So
time before.
I mean, I know you're educationally trained, and again, from a day job, professional perspective, an engineer, and you're like you said, we're both over at Dell Technologies right now, doing good things and doing big things. But let me ask you about that, right? Because over the past year or so, our roles have changed. We're doing the same thing. We're going out and talking to customers and partners about the technology and about IT solutions, but we're not traveling anymore, right? We're
Yeah.
doing it all remotely, and that's a huge pivot. Yeah, the whole world is doing that, but I'm wondering how has that affected you, right? Again, because we would be in the airport all the time. We live
Oh,
out of suitcases, right? And how have you been able to adjust? I guess over these past 18 months, whatever the case may be.
well, I tell you what. There's a part of me that loves this.
Yeah,
I love it. The ability to do what we do remotely means that I can switch gears, go from partner to partner in conversations around different ideas,
yeah,
bring in the very best, because geography is not a limit. So I can bring in the very best thought leaders. I can bring in somebody like a Jody Hoagland, who can come in and talk around circles around most problems, or any discussion, and I can reach across the aisle and get someone from California. And these folks are deep technical, and our bench,
right.
the Marco Pattersons, the Charles Gladneys, some of the folks that I work with on this end, amazing thought
Yeah.
leaders. So now when they're busy, I've just got a world of people that I can reach to.
That's true. It's kind of made the world a lot smaller, right? The fact that
Yeah.
there is no commute time, there is no travel time, but man, we sure do get on Zoom and Teams calls at early in the morning, and they tend to go late in the evening. That's a challenge, right? We need
All
to talk to
day.
someone about again proper utilization of the working hours.
The
My goodness.
balance.
Now, you said something in the elevator pitch, and I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that. You mentioned husband, and I need to say first and foremost, congratulations, sir, because you have just recently jumped that broom, right? And got married. Congratulations to you and your bride.
Oh my goodness, thank you.
Yeah,
I,
but see, she's probably right close by, so I want to make sure that I stay on the good list. I see she's probably listening right now.
see,
I want to make
see,
sure I don't get in trouble. You know.
yeah, the corduroy mic is not picking up her smile right now, but you
Yeah,
can guarantee she's close enough.
I love
Yeah,
it.
that is my muse, my inspiration. She has ever since we started to talk a year ago.
Yeah,
Just been in my corner and just really inspired me and, just held me up. Just made sure that everything that was important to me I was able to focus on it, get addressed. And when it came to us, we just was fit together like glue.
that's
So
cool.
it has
That's real
been
cool.
phenomenal. This last year has been a great love story. And on the 14th, we stepped out of the limo and walked down the aisle, and everybody joined in that we could find on Zoom to safely join us. And for those that didn't, we'll be able to put some videos out for them. But this has been just a kind of a. I told her that I think the Holy Spirit must have sent her to me
Amen.
because
That's
I think
true.
I needed it.
That's all right there. That's all. Now you did it not too long ago, and you said you did it
14.
in Zoom. So talk to us a little bit about that. Right, having a wedding during a global pandemic. One, and you live in Texas.
Yes.
Your weather has been a trip lately. So
Up
talk
and
to us a
down.
little bit about just going through those things, right? And the stress and the anxiety of guests, right, planning a wedding, irregardless of if it's in person or if it's virtual. There's a lot of activity that needs to happen, right? But
Right.
talk to us a little bit about some of that went down.
Man, if you've ever been used to the idea of change, in this technology world, change has got to be a part of our DNA.
Yeah.
So whatever we plan this morning, it could be something quite different by the time the nightfall hits. So we were just really, really flexible. We started talking about having a wedding on the front porch and having the people, kind of be able to drive up and wave and say hello.
Hmm.
And that moved to inside. And as the weather changed from maybe it's going to be okay, like 40, 50, to now it's going to be almost freezing.
You got your long johns on underneath your tuxedo, right?
Oh my goodness. So, to our benefit, our church, who does a phenomenal broadcast every week, several of them, had everything set up.
Okay.
We talked to the visual arts folks that run that piece of the communication, and the pastor and the staff, and they're like, "Yeah, come on, let's go. We'll be just ready at 3 o'clock. Come on in, and
We waiting
we'll
on
turn
you.
everything up, and you got you." And they
I love
did.
it.
They made it amazing, James.
I love it. Takes the stress off of you and your bride, right? Again, because you're again,
Big time.
it's already an emotionally charged event,
Yeah, it's a
regardless
lot.
of a pandemic, right? But
It's
okay,
a lot. So yeah, my big buddy, my buddy James was the photographer, and we
okay,
just finished with him. Rolled right up to the venue, got out, and it was amazing.
I
So I
love it.
mean, just a great time, great time.
I love it. I love it. Again, congratulations on that. Valentine's Day too. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You didn't kill two birds at the same time. Boy, when it comes next year and you need to get gifts, you you you
It's
just get one big one, right? That's what you do. That's how I'm thinking. I don't know if my wife is listening. I know
well,
I
I,
wouldn't be able to.
I've got a new son-in-law, and his philosophy. His name's Amory,
Mhm.
and his philosophy is a little different. He says, "Well, now you're married. You don't have to do all that."
Uh-oh. Well, you better tell him. Y'all, he better learn. Yeah, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work.
No, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. No, we're seasoned. We know a little better. We know a little better.
That's true. That's true.
Too
Now,
fun.
I keep looking at your screen, and I want folks to know this that my whole I work with Butch on a daily basis, and we used
I
to
work for
have
Dell.
conferences. Every time I would get him on a call, and I would get to see his face, and then see the atmosphere that he was portraying. You can definitely tell the man is a photographer. He knows what he's doing. So I'm living vicariously trying to through his setup. So I came out with my, the righteous camera, and then I had to step up the game, get the 16 millimeter f1.4 lens. But brother, I still can't compete. The bokeh, the buttery bokeh you got. I've got a whole bunch of questions here I still want to ask, but I'm being thrown off by just the the imagery that you got. Let's get focused, right? Let's talk about that right now. Talk to me about your setup because I think that goes into some of your photography
Oh,
mindset and aspects. But what are you rocking right now to make you just look
oh my
so
goodness. Yeah,
so
I mean, it is a
network
part of the
TV?
photography. It's part of the videography from doing that for about a decade.
Yeah.
At St. John, and this is the Canon 5D Mark IV is a body.
Mm-hmm.
70D, the 70 to 200 f2.4 lens.
Mm.
We call it the big white rabbit. It's got the
Mm-hmm.
red ring on it. It's an L lens. It's got a Rode video mic on the camera, and then I'm running the Shure microphone at the top, the new MV7,
Okay, that's what
and
I'm
that
rocking.
mic is running into the Rodecaster Pro switcher. And I'm feeding this thing from a MacBook Pro, but I'm looking at it on a Dell desktop.
Go watch
I work for
yourself,
Dell.
brother. Watch yourself, brother.
Yeah, so I'll edit this on an iMac later tonight. Yeah, I've captured everything that I could capture. I know you're going to do a podcast later on,
Yeah.
and I'm grateful enough to have a couple iPads and a couple iPhones in the back end that I can use to kind of fill in with my notes or whatever I need.
So there we go again, right? I mean, just yeah, we can do what we do from a day-to-day basis and it's stressful and it's rewarding, but and it's good valuable work, but just the concept and the need, I think, to have that balance, right? Of
Yeah,
something that we do outside. And you're obviously folks listening, you can tell which is deep in the technology and enjoys what he's doing. So not just the photography stuff, but the videography stuff and the names that you were mentioning, the Roadcaster Pro. I mean, you're mentioning high end quality gear. Talk to me a little bit about that, right? Because there's a lot of other stuff that's out there that you could have chosen, right? Um,
right,
but
right.
it matters, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, right? I think it matters of what you get, and I tell folks a lot of time, you get what you pay for.
Right, right.
Like, so what does that Roadcaster Pro allow you to do, just from a production perspective? So folks who
Oh,
are interested in thinking about that may want to
oh yeah. The
hear.
Rodecaster Pro is phenomenal. It's a standalone unit, really not as expensive as you would have imagined,
Mm,
but four microphone inputs, XLR, and at the same time, I can have an input that's Bluetooth,
hmm.
another input that is a wire, just a small wired connection back to my laptop on a 3.5 millimeter cable, and I can have a USB input. It's got a pad on the side with 8 pads, but that really is now 64 pads where I can have pre-recorded music or sound effects that I can kick into a stream. All of these recorded to a micro SD that I can
Mm.
pull off and pop up into any of the pod solutions for building my podcast or bringing in musical content or whatever like that. So this thing is to me just the perfect fit for anything you want to do creative.
Probably right in the center of your desk too, right now, right?
Oh
Again,
yes,
so
yeah.
you can push all
The,
your buttons right there.
the real estate we put on our desk is key critical.
True.
If it
Yeah.
hits a desktop,
Yeah.
we use it every day.
Yeah.
It's the stuff we don't use that often that might be, we pull that off the desk. But if it touches the desktop in our world, it means we're using that thing every day.
There's got to be some value, right? Space is always at a
That's
premium. So
that's the kind
yeah.
of thing Sam Morgan and some of the guys that I grew up with, Tommy and Sam and Big Dave from looking at how they spent their space,
Uh,
got me excited about putting technology in your space, the thing you love.
I love that. So I mean, I'm actually looking at going with the Rodecaster Pro, and you're right. It again, you get what you pay for. It costs a little bit, but heck, it's over at Best Buy, and they got one in stock at my favorite Best Buy today. Who knows after I get through cutting the grass if I go there. See what you've done.
See,
You've
see,
elevated my game from the video perspective,
boom.
and now I'm going to go and get this audio mixer unless someone can give me an early birthday present.
Well, I tell you what,
Um,
you should do that. You don't even need a referral code from me, James. It's not,
give me your
not.
Amazon affiliate link or something.
Yeah, I'm
So
just letting you know they did not pay for the sponsorship. I'm just putting it out there because I think it's you're gonna love it. You're
yeah,
gonna love it.
I will. No,
It'll give
I
you more
will.
time back with your family.
I see there. Now you're making it plain, right? Making it real, making it plain. All of those analogies. talk to me a little bit about some other things going on in your life. Because again, my whole purpose today really is talk about the man. Talk, and things that you're getting into, how you're coping again with the craziness. Probably, like I said, the last 18 months, you've had some incredible highs of marrying your sweetheart. Let's talk about another pretty cool high. I understand that you found your sister. Let's talk about that, man. I mean,
Oh
that
my goodness.
you can't beat that. I understand that you have found some
Oh
siblings.
man. Picture this. Picture this. I don't know if you can imagine, you know, having a dad and my extended family. I mean, I've got, brothers and sisters and cousins and everyone, who have all known that I had an older sister.
Mm,
And my dad having, most of his life just been spending time trying to figure out, how he can find her and get a chance to have conversations with her and kind of, just reach out and not knowing where to look. And, being a little bit of a hacker and a little bit of a, let's go find them. I've been looking for her. We've got, detectives and cousins and everybody else looking for her. And out of the blue, one day I go to this website that helps you find people, and her name's not there. But believe it or not, I see an acknowledgement to the correct name by someone who's an author and says that's the mother.
mm,
And so I email this daughter and I say, this might sound crazy. Here's the details. Here are the links to all the profiles of the people I'm talking about.
yeah,
But if this is true, that's my sister, and I really, like to talk to you about it. She calls back about 2 weeks, or she emails back in 2 weeks. Says, I don't know. I can reach out to mom. I don't know if she's, on that level where that's something she wants to do, but I'll ask her. Long story short, she connected us. We got on the phone, and it was like finding a lost long friend. So
wow.
after almost 54 years, James, here's my sister, and she asked me a question on that call. I'll never forget. She said, "Is my dad alive?"
Mm.
Oh my God! And I was like, "Yeah." Not only is he alive, he's dying to meet you. So fast forward, we all ended up in Indianapolis. We're in the Airbnb. It's dad. It's all my brothers and sisters, and the tears are flowing and the hugs are
Yeah,
going. It's my sister, my new niece, Simonique, everybody there in one space. And Veronica is my sister, and we're giving her all the love that we've been wanting to give her for all of these years.
that's
And I
beautiful.
just sitting back watching her and soaking it up, and then just taking all the photos and enjoying it. I put a little video on a YouTube channel just to try to capture some of it, but oh my goodness, you can't capture that kind of energy. What a day!
That is amazing, and can't ask for anything better. Just the fact that you found her after doing all the research, right? And then the fact that because you never know, right? And I guess I'm a come be third person out looking in. I may not want to meet all my family, me talking like her, right? But the
You
fact
never
that the
know.
the feeling was mutual, and
Yes.
and then the fact that you guys were able to, before everything got crazy, you were able to connect, you were able to have that fellowship with your entire family and
Oh
capture it.
man, so happy.
Right.
So happy, so amazing. And her daughter's amazing. She's amazing. I've got, my, sisters in Indianapolis that are like, just crazy professional singers, ministers, the whole nine. To see everybody in the same room and dad up there with that look on his face like he can't believe everybody's here. We're all here. We're here to love on you, Dad.
I love that, man. I love that. I'm happy for you for that, man, because you can't buy that anywhere,
Nope.
and that's what it's all about, right? Fam, above all this other stuff that we do, and we do a lot. It's irregardless when it comes to family, right? And
Right.
especially at these trying times, just being close to you, the ones that matter are really what matters, what resonates. So I'm happy for it, man. It's been 2020 wasn't too bad for you then. You couldn't go anywhere, but other than that, yeah, yeah,
We
not
made
too
the best
bad
of
for
it.
you.
We made the best of it, right? We did
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. What else you got going? I really I got a couple of things. I'm gonna get a little personal now. I am gonna get personal, as if those weren't already personal questions, right?
Oh, okay, okay.
Uh, you look like you're wearing some 34s or 36s now. You trimmed down, brother, and I'm loving this. Like not so talk to me about this new fella here that I'm seeing that's going to the young men's section of Macy's now, as opposed to the as opposed because
I,
because you like it's a phenomenal change, and I can tell in your demeanor that the energy, or just that you're happy with yourself. You're happy with everything that's going on in your life, and again, I'm seeing a smaller Butch. And so talk to us about, because you did a lot of this when gyms are shut down during the pandemic, and I would love to just hear about this story.
oh my goodness, yeah. I can you can I can't even think back and imagine that it was normal to be 5'6" and 250. That's 5'6" at 250 pounds, and that was my normal. That was like, oh, it's cool. Chocolate cake, yeah, I'll take some. you know, and at some point, it was like, what do we need to do to get this part fixed? Because a lot of people die of the heart diseases and all the things that you don't need to die from. And so I decided that for me, the best fit was keto and intermittent fasting.
Okay. Yep.
So breakfast for lunch, lunch for dinner, and staying on the keto plan. I used Green Chef because I didn't know at the time what to cook or how to cook it and get the proportions right. So I used a package called Green Chef online, and I didn't do any exercises. I didn't gym memberships and all that came later. And when I got to right around I got down from 250, believe it or not, to 170.
Wow.
And when I hit 170, it's like now I can go to the gym. As soon as you pick up a weight in the gym at 170, you know what happens? You see a
You follow.
you see a muscle. He's like, whoa, there's a muscle there. I can't believe it. But
I
there's
love.
nothing there to block it.
Yeah.
So, between that, the diet, and later with the gym and all those things, it blossomed. It blossomed. And, I just now feel, I'm excited about healthy living where you can, just making minor changes in your life. It doesn't really matter what you weigh. It's as long as you can feel like you're doing it the right way, and doing it
Hmm.
the healthy way.
Yeah.
You know, that makes you feel better, and makes you do what you can to do to stay a little longer. You know,
That's true, right? And we tell a lot of folks that, and especially a lot of African Americans, right? Just it's, and around nutrition, right?
yeah,
Around what you
yeah,
put in your body, right? That
right.
processed sugar. I hate high fructose corn syrup. I swear, every time I see someone eating something that's processed or whatever, I really cringe now. Just again knowing the effects that it does onto the body. So
Oh
the
yeah,
the,
yeah,
the cleaner you can get, the more colorful the fruit, the food you can eat, right? So again, the
better.
greens, the reds, things like that. It's always
Right.
been, and the fresher. So um, I wondering about this. So in terms, so first of all, congratulations on that. Because what do you say, 80 or so pounds that you lost over
Yeah,
the
yeah.
time in keto?
Over a term of the process, about 85 pounds when it was all said and done.
It's amazing.
And yeah, I mean, just yeah, crazy transformation mentally,
Yeah.
mostly mentally.
Talk to me about that. So where in that? Just again, changing your mindset in terms of late night eating, because we're late night just by design in what we
Right,
do. I mean,
right.
is that just not going down there and raiding the pantry, or not finding taking hitting the easy button and going to Burger King or McDonald's, and instead going and get that salad? Talk to me
It's
about that.
funny.
That's interesting.
The habit kicks in because it's how we've always solved for the thing. So, if we let ourselves
Hmm.
get too hungry, it's easy to go like, well, I could stop by the local store there, and, I could do something consistently unhealthy, or I can have a bag of almonds in my car. And when I get that urge, I can pull in the lot where I would normally do something unhealthy and sit there and have some almonds. And, guess what? Whatever I end up putting in my mouth fills me up, and I'm done. And so
Yeah.
understanding that, like, it's really just a mental thing to say, okay, let's pause and figure out, how do I solve for hunger? Let's do it different. And what
How do you
happens?
solve for hunger? That's a great statement. I love that. How do you solve for hunger? Again, because what you said about it being all the mentality aspect. I mean, that's critical. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you being actually open and saying that piece.
Oh my goodness, it's this is crazy. This is crazy. How cool is it to be able to sit here now and go like, I think we're doing things the right way for change.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, you're in California, you know how everyone around you is saying, hey, we're all healthy here, right? We know
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
doing
but
this.
then you know better, right? So I want to go into that, but I want to acknowledge. So I'm all over the board because I'm just so happy that you're here, and I got a friend of mine here, Mr. David Blackman, who's in the building, and so David, Butch is one of us in terms of technology enabled individual. He's got the RCP, he's got what you're using Switcher Studio, but I told him about Ecamm, so I'm gonna get him switched over to Ecamm. But he is a videographer and a photographer at heart. So this man is. I'm gonna give him the secret fraternal handshake here before too long. um, I wanted to acknowledge that, but let me ask you again one other thing about the nutrition and that piece. How have you changed kind of the things that you're eating? I mean, are you so I've actually kind of tried to switch and eliminate as much red meat as possible. Right. So and that's tough, right? Because I would go and I would knock down a burger. I don't even barbecue as much anymore. But it's now I'm not going vegan because that's a further extreme than I'm going to be comfortable with doing. But I am cleaning it up and going for the most part vegetarian. So I'm a lot more healthy greens, a lot more healthy reds, fish, and not even as much chicken to be honest with you. I live off the Sofritas bowl at Chipotle. As
Okay.
both my kids work there, so I'm eating
Oh,
tofu like it's nobody's business. But what's your thoughts on from that aspect, right? About just the cleaning up the diet in terms of the red meat.
I mean, the difference in understanding, what the impact is when you eat too much of it,
Yeah.
and it doesn't. To me, it's like, well, sometimes you can have a love for chicken or pork or beef or you know those things you have to do in moderation like everything
Hmm.
else. But if the vegetables on a consistent basis aren't high enough in your daily diet, it really doesn't matter because you can't exercise. You cannot possibly exercise off a bad diet. If you're eating wrong, it doesn't matter
Wow.
how many leg lifts you do. It's never going to catch up to
Yeah.
the multiple burgers that you can eat, in a setting. You
Yeah.
know, you just can't. So at some point you got to go like, okay, I need to flip that around. Red meat's a part of it. Bread's
Yeah.
a huge part for me. I'm as afraid of bread as I am of sugar.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And I think the things with for me the flour that's attributed to the bread, the grains, the corn, the carrots. Those are things to me that I kind of it's like I can pass on those. So unless you're going to bring me a bread or a dessert that is from a known chef that is so ridiculously amazing that it's going to change my life, I'll pass.
Unless someone like Emerald or what Ramsey
Oh
or
wait,
somebody who does it right, and
he's got nothing to do. Present it to me. Go, hey, I'm Emerald dropping off the French bread.
that's true, right?
You
Oh
and your
my
wife have a
gosh.
great night. So and then I tell myself that if I eat the wrong thing, this may be not be right, but because it's keto, I can tell myself if I have dessert, it's going to take me 4 days to lose another pound. Now,
Mm,
I'm looking at that dessert and I'm wondering, is that dessert worth waiting 4 days to lose another pound?
that's a
Nine
good
times
one.
out of 10, I can pass on
You
dessert.
you could probably pass on it and go with those almonds or those walnuts that you get. I love that. Hey, man, first, look again. Let me say congratulations on that because just that whole effort and again changing that mindset and doing it now when the world is crazy. That's a huge accomplishment. So, uh, kudos to you on that, brother. Kudos to you on that.
Thanks, bro.
Let's get back to this photography, man, because you got some things going on, and we were talking. So, folks, I've been wanting to tell this story on air. Which and I were talking about this in the show before we started. Behind you, right? Again, you got the beautiful bokeh going, the blurry effect, and you got components of I think you said they were in your old cube at work or something, right? The abacus going on. Well, I won't tell that. I'll so what you got behind you right there, right? You got
Oh my goodness, yeah. When you start to think about the transition,
not see, but you're dating yourself now because you got the
even
old abacus back there.
that's the original slide rule. Believe it or not, before the slide rule, that was the average. But sitting right next to
You an
that,
old man.
sitting next to that, you got the pad.
Look at you. Okay,
You know,
okay. Little past, present, and future. I love it.
that's the one thing I think that they told us in school that was really wrong. They said you won't always have a calculator with you. Remember them teaching you that?
I did remember that,
So
and if I don't have a calculator, I'm gonna be in trouble because complex math and when my son comes at me with some of the statistics that he's working on right now, I'm like, you better go ask your mother,
good.
because I'll tell you how I did it when I was in school, and I don't know if I want that recorded.
They do it different now. They're doing it different.
I had a couple of cheat sheets, but I bring that up again because the funny story that I was telling you said you had that from one of your original cubicles at work, and I wish I could have some things from my original cubicle at one of my early jobs, but I can't because during my bachelor party, some guys that I worked with at HP brought me a piece of the cubicle from my old office. The reason that they did that, so again, I gave HP total 20 years of my life, and that was in bits and spurts. I left the first time not by choice. It was when Carly Fiorina bought Compaq, so I was laid off. When I was told that I was being laid off from HP, I did not take it very well. Bruh, let me tell you something. I walked up and down the aisle with I used to have a little Colorado's Rockies mini baseball bat at my desk.
Oh,
Right. It was 2 o'clock or something in the afternoon. I walked up and down R6 Upper here in Roseville, California, at the HP facility, and I tore up everything in my path. I literally broke. It was tough. Nowadays your boy would have been locked up for a long time. I tore some things up.
no way, no way,
No,
no way.
guess what? For real,
Oh,
I tore up all of HP
oh,
upstairs,
no, you
and
needed a mentor about that time. You needed to call a mentor.
I,
Calm me
I
down.
I needed some help.
Calm me down.
But the fact was, and again, no one stopped me because like you're not gonna let me go without me
In
making
my
some noise.
playbook.
Uh, so some friends of mine grabbed one of the pieces of the cubicles that I destroyed and brought that as a bachelor party gift for me. I don't know why. I don't even know where it is now. I'm sure it's obviously in the dump somewhere. But yeah, so there is my verbal counseling session to myself, and my little intervention that I thought I'd let you know. I
Note to self.
Yeah, note to self. I don't, and oh man, I'm streaming on LinkedIn right now too. So my director's probably going to be watching this, and
Yeah,
don't
previous.
let your boy go without expecting some ramifications. Is all I'm
You
saying.
might get a bill after this podcast. I mean, somebody might send you a bill. It just could
Yeah,
be. Could
yeah. The
be.
statutes of limitations, maybe. Oh, and so check this out. Check this out. So my dad's watching too. I don't think I ever told him that story, but now he knows that story.
It's
Uh,
out there now, James. It's out.
yeah,
Oh,
I got I got
goodness.
some splaining to do. I got
We
some
get viral
splaining
to
to do.
go. Yeah, he's like, I wonder what happened.
Yeah,
James
why
is
why
going,
did
I
they bring him
wonder.
that piece
He's
of a
going like,
cubicle?
this makes no sense to me. Too crazy.
There
My
you
mom
go.
would kill me. She
Can't
would
make
have
it up,
killed me.
brother. Can't make.
Yeah, my kids would look at me like, "Are you kidding, Dad? Really?" Ryan and Amber would be like, "You what? We
That
didn't
was
know
that,
this
that
story."
that was that was back in the do as I say, not as I do kind of era. So that was before the kids too. So yeah. Now I've
Man,
got things to.
you woo side down. The family, everybody got you calmed down.
That's true. That's
You
true.
guys,
That
you
that that
guys,
has that definitely changed my mode of operation. I've
yeah, because
definitely calmed down in my days now.
and you spent some time doing some work with some of the bands out in California. I found
Mm-hmm.
out and doing a little research. I mean,
Oh,
your role.
you did some homework on me. Yeah, yeah. I gave BGP Bill Graham Presents, who eventually molded into Clear Channel Entertainment,
Amazing.
and I did. security for them, event services. So I was
Nice.
responsible for the principal, whoever was performing on stage, right? Making sure that when they got to the venue, they got to front of stage without any issues, and controlled everything from a event staff and security perspective for those folks. So
Man, that's
yeah,
huge.
yeah,
That's huge.
for those 10 years, I think that was 10 years that I did that. I saw everyone who was anyone in the
Going
entertainment
through the,
industry, and
oh my
I
goodness.
got
Yeah.
up close and personal with a lot of folks, and it was really cool. It was really
Oh,
cool. I stopped because the only reason really that I stopped was it was tough coming home at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning from an event, being newly a parent. Right, I was we
yeah.
married for a couple of years, but
Yeah.
one of the last straws that Jen, my wife, had was she was pregnant with our oldest Jordan, and on Mother's Day of her still being pregnant, I had to go to Oakland, California to do a show.
Ah,
And it's a big show because I'm one of the guys
of
running the
course.
show, but I gotta leave her and go to
Yeah.
do a George Strait. He would do a big event, a big show, and gotta go do it. She wasn't too happy with that whole aspect of,
So
Mother's Day and your boy is down in Oakland partying at a country show. But
the work-life balance is, it,
work
when
life
it,
balance, and again,
yeah,
I didn't want the lock on the front door to be changed
right.
next time. So after a while, I was able to adjust schedules and do things. But that again, that was an amazing time of just again being able to be in front of the Paul McCartneys
Oh,
um, and the Janet Jackson and her hay, and escorting her mother, Miss Jackson, to the mixer
wow.
area while she was on stage. So doing a lot of that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
can go for an hour or so, just me telling you about some of those things.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you'd have to meet my friend Robert Welch. He did some major security for some major figures we'd caught up, just recently. But when you just think about the impact that has on your life, crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, standing in front of a speaker though for 4 hours a night, almost every other night, was a little rough too. But being in the midst of again some major things, and garnishing some of those relationships, not just the folks that were on stage, but the folks that were behind the scenes, and we called ourselves the Blue Coats. Old Bill Graham presents naming mentality, and just called ourselves the Blue Coats. We were the ones who ran security and ran the event, and that really was a close knit family of folks as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
You started off early though, James. I think when I look at what you did career wise there
Hmm.
and what you're doing career wise now with the partners, and knowing you, having seen your work on that side, your life has kind of been based on making other people really great. You never really,
Hmm.
like, you're never the person that's like, look at me, look at me, look at me. You're the person that puts other people on the spot and kind of gives them the platform or the knowledge or the comfort to go out and be their best selves. That's what we're
I
seeing with
appreciate
your
that.
work. Yeah, it's consistent across all your work. Whether we're in the office at Dell with that work, which is very specific and trying sometimes, but there's some amazing technologists in our partner community that they pick up the phone and they'll start to describe a problem or the way they're approaching solutions. These folks are building things that are just like mind blowing.
Yeah,
Top off the way that they're using our stuff to
yeah.
build out their systems, and just some of the crazy things that are going on in the medical space. Nvidia and all the things that are going on with Walter
Hmm.
and those guys. Amazing what we're learning and seeing the partner community do. You know, that never changes.
No.
Do you see your relevance in pushing those partners beyond their comfort level now to be even more creative in what they're going to develop going forward?
I see our role, and first of all, appreciate that those statements, man, and those really are taken humbly and consciously in terms of how I deliver a lot of the messages as well, right? It is to kind of be a liaison, or be that one to put the light and the shine on other folks. But um, I think yes, our role, right, in what we do on a day to day basis is to not talk about the bits and pieces anymore, not talk about the infrastructure, not talk about I've got the fastest array, or I've got the shiniest flashing lights, or whatever, because everyone has high quality, high performing, low latent all of those acronyms matter to
Right.
every. It doesn't matter Dell, HP, Pure, Cisco, whomever the case may be. But how are we, you and me, solving the partner or the end customer's business problems?
Yeah.
How are we putting something together that actually addresses their need within their current uh, mode of operation? Right? How are we um, designing solutions that meet challenges facing either the partner in terms of enabling them, making them smarter about our technology, or that partner's customer, having them to be more relevant in their particular industry, bringing in more revenue, bringing in more customers, whatever. So I have purposely and consciously stepped back from talking about uh, read write ratios, RPO versus RTO. So,
Yeah.
disk RAID configuration, stuff like that, as opposed to
Right.
what is it you're trying to do,
Right. How do
right?
we
And
bring it?
how do I help you with that? Because I got a whole truckload of stuff that
Yeah.
I can sell you. Let me
Yeah.
find the right things that match what you're trying to do. Sometimes, be honest with you, and I know the folks at where we work may not like it, or sometimes we may not have the thing that meets your need. I don't mention competitors, but I'll say point blank and truthfully, I say, we've got something, but look at this, so you can make the honest decision.
You make the
Let me put it on the board. Let me draw it out on the whiteboard, since we're really good at drawing
right.
on
Right.
whiteboards and things like that. And you make the decision, right? If I win the technical win for what you're trying to do, awesome, amazing. If there's another piece that needs to fit into the solution that's from a competitor of mine, okay. And
Yeah.
we're heterogeneous. It'll work, and it's a multi-cloud world too. It's a like I said, heterogeneous infrastructure. All of that stuff. It doesn't matter to me what you do. I just want you to be successful. You being the customer and the partner. So that's how I think our
Yeah.
world is, and I think you do that as well, right? In terms of just
Yeah. Yeah.
listening as opposed to regurgitating the spiel all the time, right? Oh,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
you gotta have
There
this
there
because
it is, and you need the mouse because the mouse solves everything. But I need a hammer. But this mouse could be
no, you
my.
need this one. Yeah, I'm not listening. What are you saying? No, whatever. Yeah.
It's so funny, but the other thing is we get the ability to work and kind of live in a world that really doesn't quite exist yet. And what I
Mm,
mean is, most of my day is filled with people with ideas that haven't come to fruition yet. And I think of it as
mm.
like living in a world called IP as a service. So
I like that.
everything around
I'm
me,
gonna write that down. I may put that on the shirt too.
IP as a service, yeah. We put that
IP as a
crack in
shirt.
IP. Everything. This is a toy wheel that my grandson Armand pulled off of one of my favorite little model cars. So I keep this separate between the car that I got from NTT and the model wheel that he pulled off. And I want to keep them separate because I think of things like IP as a service. Everything should have an IP address. And as soon as this fell off the car, I should have got a request an email saying, "Would you like to buy another car?" Because IP as a service recognizes that you now, you have something missing that you used to love, and let's get you some new stuff.
Yeah.
So in that world, everything is an opportunity, right?
Yeah, yeah, and we're there now. So if you
Yeah.
think about it, and speaking of the car, right? I don't know if you know, but yeah, I'm all electric. So I've got the Tesla, right? So I'm
I
rolling that,
noticed that.
and bruh, let me tell you something.
Dude.
I'm never coming back to petrol. I
Oh,
I plugs in and I go,
I
but
love it.
the car tells me when it needs something, right? So whenever
Yeah.
there's an update that needs to happen, it's just like my phone. It'll automatically upgrade updates to the car, and it's more performant, it's faster, it's more, yeah, just enhanced capabilities. So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
value just increases from a
Oh,
software update as opposed to driving it off the lot and losing $8,000 or whatever the case may be.
never seen
So
that again.
yeah, so I'm a huge believer and a
Forever, and you get
proponent
a
of
new
what you
vehicle.
just said. Yeah,
Yeah, this is great.
yeah.
I love it. I love it. Man, I saw that and I was like, man, yeah, I live vicariously through you in that cool car. You know, I
Well,
definitely love it.
well, you can get one now. Again, you're doing some big things out there. This again could be the year 2021. McCrackin rolling around in a Model Y, Tesla Model Y.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, we got the co-pilot now. My co-pilot, we get to pick our
watch
cars
yourself.
now. So
Watch yourself
we may
there.
have to
Love it.
turn in, change in. I may be driving the Benz. Well, she drives the Tesla for a while.
Nothing wrong. Hey, she look. Oh, she just over there, probably just
She,
no
she,
no complaints.
she might be denied. We never know.
I love it. I love it. No complaint. You are doing some other things, man. Let me ask you about this, and I don't want to I don't want to take too much of your time because I know, like I said, you probably got some honeydews to do now, and I keep messing with you. I keep messing with you.
It's all good. It's all good.
Photography is you, and I wanted to end with this because I think again this just really resonates with who you are. Um, yeah, again, you're an engineer at trade. You're an engineer by heart. You're a man of the people. You do consulting. You do conversations like that around technology. But when you pick up that Canon, something else happens, right? And
Yeah.
so I mean it's like your escape. It's definitely your world. You've told me a lot of things in terms of lighting, in terms of proper adjustments and framing and rules of thirds and all that. Talk to me about what you're doing this year with your photography business because it was probably put on a little bit of a hold, right, for last year. So talk to me what you're
Yeah.
doing next year or this year.
Yeah. It's a there's a big difference. I'll tell you what the because I kind of specialize in the event photography. American Heart Association is one of my bigger clients, and when they go and they do things locally, I love to always be there. So the photography thing, I had to figure out what I want to do from a marketing standpoint that's a little bit different, and what do I want to do from a just trying to understand what those images mean long term, because we take pictures and we love to take them and edit them and build out stories. But what I'm learning is if you look at the work from like Dr. Sarah Lewis, every image that you take has the ability to transition someone's mindset. They
Hmm.
see things differently once they look at an image. So whether it's a family that's suffered through something horrific, now smiling, or a new couple celebrating a special day, or a graduate, or even a great meal. Everything has a meaning and a story attached to it, and it has the ability to really transition, what you're doing. These, for example, great shots from after our wedding with Chef Christopher, who came into our house and actually cooked a great meal. My wife actually said, this is the way we want to have that day in, just hanging out together with Chef Christopher, putting it together.
Beautiful.
Oh my gosh, that appetizer. This guy is phenomenal. So that's us smiling, him serving us. You can see why we didn't take a lot more pictures after that happy smile. But she was smiling, I was smiling. This was a great, 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 great way to do the Valentine's Day. I don't know how we do better next year. I,
Yeah,
I got
you've set the bar pretty
I,
high.
I got to figure out something really cool to do next year. Otherwise, it's going to be like, where are we going?
Man, now the rest of us guys, now we gotta step up to this here, right? My
My goodness.
goodness, brother, you just
This
making it hard for us
He's
out here
like
in
my
these
brother
streets.
Randy. He's like, this is something that Randy would have done, I think. This is how he rolls. And Stacy, and these are the way my family just thinks like this. Stacy and Devin are phenomenal. The way they date, that's the way I want to date for life. So too cool, too cool.
That's cool. That's good. So again, so what do you are you planning on maybe doing some courses teaching folks, or do you see yourself maybe switching and doing? Because I haven't necessarily see you do like landscapes or something, right? Because you said you're typically doing events, and that's going to be kind of on hold for a little while, but maybe kind of pivoting and changing your focus for the photography because you can't put it down, right? You can't just let the
You
camera
can't.
sit there on your desk and collect dust, right? I know you're itching to get it going, so talk to me about what you may think about doing.
I tell you, all those lenses sitting up there going to waste in Zoom meetings, and people going, "Wow, great lens! What is that one?" Yeah, well, that's my wide 16 to 35. And,
Just
you know,
sitting there, I want to use it.
I used to use it for this, that, and the other. The Some of those photos are going into our magazine, and that's going to be a little bit of an exciting part for me, getting some of those photos in and doing some ads in our magazine, which talks about being healthy and putting that type of thing out.
Hold on, our
Um,
magazine. You got a magazine?
that's the
Oh,
shameless. Well,
Wait a
okay.
minute. Breaking news. What
It
talk
said
to man? What you
this is
got
the
there?
fun part of life. So even before you could, yeah, there we go. It's a little fuzzy, but can you picture getting a chance to kind of put some of those recipes that we're loving
Yeah.
inside something that people can keep on their shelves for a period of time, and then being able to throw some ads in there to make it even better, and memorable.
So the entire magazine is yours, or just the story, some of the
The,
stories within
the
there?
content, the recipes, and we get to put in, any of the ads that we want to put in there, cool back covers and all that, and send them off to our friends. This is the way we're doing marketing. This and networking professionally, all of those things have to take a step up, especially 2021, because we're not shaking hands, we're not in
Yeah.
big meeting halls with people. Everything has got to be digital. And for me, coming into this part of my life, marketing, digital marketing, this is the thing I've loved more than anything else. I take the photos, but the key is like, the value of that photo, being able to use it in a marketing scenario, combining it with tools like Canva, if you use that,
I do. Yeah.
phenomenal tool for say, let me take my picture, put your fonts together, get my color scheme cool, poof, and it's out there.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, I know how to streamline and put that kind of that type of thing together. So, offering those things up, teaching people how to market, do media, do rich media, do video,
Yes.
podcasts, and having the equipment to actually put them in a place where they can, again, expand what they do. That's the part that's exciting for me.
I
So I
love
think
that.
the camera is going to become a component to a bigger business that really helps businesses grow.
So that whole entrepreneurship push that you're doing now, right? Again, not resting on the laurels, not saying, "Oh, woe is me," right? Or I can't do anything because I can't do what I've done in the past, but it's finding a whole different avenue and look, quite frankly, a whole nother revenue stream.
Oh,
Right? which
by
which
far.
is which
Yeah.
is look, let's get real and get focused, right? That's huge is there. I'm gonna need a signed copy of one of those magazines. I'm just gonna put it out there and selfishly say I will pay for shipping. I'll pay for the issue. I'm just gonna need it signed with
Butch
and
and
sent my
Regina.
way.
Yes.
Please do that's pretty huge, man. I mean I know folks that are doing online media, doing YouTube shows, doing Twitch shows or whatever, and doing some other things. But you putting together a whole magazine and going to have that out, and then from a distribution perspective, that's a whole nother level up in terms of again building yourself and building your brand. So I love that. I wish you when so I was gonna say I do. I wish you success on that. When's the issues coming out?
Well, the first two issues are already on the floor. People are starting to pick up the second magazine now, getting some calls from friends on that one.
Okay. Okay.
So basically, the magazine's coming out every 2 months, and it's rolling like crazy. As far as being able to kind of give some people some new ideas, we're getting great feedback,
Yeah.
ideas on how to make it even better, and adding some things in there about how to exercise and nothing on the crazy end, but just
Yeah.
adding some things in there to say here's some options for healthiness.
And
Some
where do we find it?
so the inaugurals of these have been going out very easily to friends and family.
Okay.
So I've been telling everybody that wants to see it on the short term to hit me up on Facebook or any of the brandings at Butch McCrackin,
Okay.
and
Okay.
let me know. And you give me an address, I'll shoot you copies.
Bruh, look, we got some talking to do after on the after show for sure. Yeah, I put the client that Bush McCracken up there so folks can check out some of those phenomenal photos
Thank you.
from that end, and they can reach out to you there. And definitely in the show notes, I'll put up some of the other social contact links as well, so folks if they got questions, because you look, I mean, you kind of like a wide gamut of information. Yeah, you can sit and talk about technology, photography, videography, now magazine making, um,
Man.
taking care of the body from a and what keto does and how that affect. So I mean, there's a wealth of knowledge that I hope folks will hear this and take advantage of this man because me just being able to take this 50 or so minutes of his time, I'm just humbled for that.
Oh my goodness.
Brother, what you got going on on now? What's next? Talk to me
What
about what's next.
so what's the next thing?
Yeah.
Actually, the from the mindset of just enjoying where we are,
Mm,
the start of the next year. Um, I'm just really honored to be a part of the program, watching your situation grow here, knowing where it's going, and just knowing going forward, working together with a lot of these partners and a lot of the friends that we've interacted with, their businesses this year growing like crazy.
yeah.
I'm just excited. I think the next time I have something that's releasable probably will be in the form of something in a training where
Okay.
it's not just the how to take a picture and get it on the proper lines and one thirds, but how to take a business and turn the profits up about 10x and monitor and manage that thing. Doing all the things that you and I have learned inherently over the business. You've got some great insights on how to monetize content that I'm salivating to learn.
Yeah.
And I'm learning things beyond, how to pick the right equipment, but even more so, how often do you put that content out? What
Yeah.
if we could bring everything that you see to you and set it up in your space and hit the record button and take it back, edit it, and give it back to you? What would that be worth to you? So some of those things and how do you train people to do that is kind of top of mind for me.
We need to have another session. I'm gonna invite you back on so we can dive into that. I'll make it a premium show too, right? And charge
Anytime,
folks for it.
anytime, anytime.
Right. But yeah, I'll tell folks, you can come to that when you go to the support page right there and buy your boy a coffee or so. And
There you go. Get
I,
the
I, I
discount.
taught you how to do that. I taught you about
Oh
how to
yeah,
do that.
love it. I love it.
Butch, thank you, man. I appreciate you. Again, your time is valuable, and I'm humbled to just have a bit of it. The stories that you shared have been amazing, and I hope folks who know you from a typical 9 to 5 basis, right, got a little bit of insight into who you are as a man, as a person, as a human being. So I'm I found some things I knew about you too today, which I thought were pretty cool. I know you found some things new about me, and again I may have some explaining to do to some folks, but it's all good. Uh, I'm trying to run off of that. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I'll reach out to you, brother, and talk to you. Blessings to you and your lovely wife, and I wish you nothing but more success, man. Be good.
James, to you and your family, man, thank you so much again. The platform and just being able to do what we do at this level is such a huge blessing, brother. So thank you for including me in the ride, and I'm excited for where you guys are going. Let me know if there's anything you need out there. I got you.
I appreciate you, brother. We out, y'all. Be good.